FC in match week or match 34 of the 2022 MLS season. Happy Decision Day to all y'all out there. And we will have updates for other matches as well on the other in the comments and all that as we go along. As we go along, we are here and we are ready, I guess, so to speak. We are ready to go. 90 more minutes of the season for Toronto FC. It's been a roller coaster. It's been a ride. Enjoy it for however long it else goes. Another 90 minutes. It could suck. It could be great. Who knows? We'll follow the Eastern Conference results as well in the chat throughout. So whenever there's goal updates, hopefully I see them. But with that being said, we're ready to go. The final ever MLS game on ESPN Plus. Because we go to Apple TV next year. It's the end of an era as well today. Because everything in the playoffs should be on regular TV. So with that being said, lineups are as follows. For Philadelphia Union, the home side. In goal, Andre Blake. The back four, Oliver Mbaizo, Jack Elliott, Jakob Glenez, Matt Real. The midfield three, Leon Flock, Jose Martinez, Jack McGlynn, Daniel Gazdag is the 10. And the front two, Julian Carranza and Mikel Ura. It says it's actually 1:30, really. They lied. In goal for Toronto FC, we got Quentin Westberg, the back four of Shane O'Neill, Lucas McNaughton, Chris Mavinga, Luca Petrasso, the midfield three of Okello, Bradley, and Kay, Noble Okello, Michael Bradley, and Mark Anthony Kay, and the front three of Federico Bernardeschi, Jaquil Marshall-Ruddy, and Jesus Jimenez up top for Toronto FC. Good 11. Not really. It's okay 11. It's okay. Let's look at MLS.com. Really, 20 minutes to kick off. They got to be kidding. They actually have to be kidding. Kickoff, 1:55 p.m. You actually have to be kidding me. Legitimately. They're kicking off at 1:55 p.m. I ain't scared. I ain't got shit to worry about. But I understand why you are. But why? 1:55 p.m. Why? Well, they say 1:30, but 1:55. Why? Why? Every other game of the season, it's only 8 minutes off the number. Why can't they just say the regular kickoff time? Why? Happy Decision Day. 20 minutes of fluff and filler because, of course. 1:55 for the Eastern Conference. Yeah, but when you say 1:30, we got to make it even. So what, I guess the freaking... Of course. You know, I wish I had like a multiple TV setup like Uncle Lou, like for a day like today. Honestly. Montreal can win the Eastern Conference with a win over Miami and a Philadelphia loss or tie. That doesn't really shock me. I mean, that could shock me. I mean, Toronto definitely isn't good enough to beat Philly with the lineup they have, but we'll find out. Probably get our ass kicked again. Of course, Cincinnati and Orlando start now. Start clenching. What up, Red Bull Insider? How we doing? Happy decision day. I'm gonna stress out today. We don't have home field advantage confirmed, but at least you're in the playoffs, so you ain't got to worry about a total collapse. You just got to worry about home field. But then again, when it comes down to it, the Red Bulls suck with home field this year. So honestly, isn't it kind of better to have an away match? Probably. Knowing the Red Bulls, I'm sure it would probably inverse when it comes to the postseason, but who knows? Guess the Union are showing love to their local producers because today is the last day of local games. Because everything in the playoffs is on national TV, whether it's FS1 or ESPN, and then after that, there's still maybe some games on ESPN and Fox and TUDNA. But after that, Apple TV time. Last game ever on ESPN Plus for the MLS. Crazy. Or at least on exclusively, I should say. I get to see Atlanta versus New York tonight. It's at the same time, but I guess you're just saying watching it. But tonight, yeah, makes sense. But with that being said, waiting for kickoff in this game between Toronto and Philly. 34 of 34. It's the last day of local broadcasts. It's bittersweet. Last week was the last TSN broadcast I could watch because ESPN Plus goes by the home side. But it's bittersweet. We don't know if we'll ever hear the voice of Luke Wyman and Stephen Caldwell again, or your local broadcasters. I have an idea of some that'll probably go over, or most likely Abu Dhabi's last game for MLS ever. Yeah, exactly. But you have Apple TV as well, so that's no problem. That's worldwide. That's the one good thing about it. If we lose and Miami win, they get home field advantage when we go to Montreal or Philly. Depends who gets second and first. Our last local broadcast was versus Minnesota. That was fittingly a win. Well, you're in Portland, so technically you can watch your local broadcast. I'm just talking about my situation, My situation is ESPN Plus, so the away team has the home broadcast for that game. You can still watch Root Sports, Pacific Northwest or whatever. You can for the Real Salt Lake game. But I get what you're saying. Unless you do use ESPN Plus anyway. Wouldn't that be blacked out, though, or is that just MLB? Ain't paying for Apple TV. It's a pirate's life for you then, Winvo. Yo, a pirate's life for me. Or for you, not me, but you get the point. Well, don't tell me. Okay, there we go. I was like, are we about to see Max Headroom? That was about to go weird. He's a freaking nerd. Oh, yeah, you are on ESPN. You're right. You are on ESPN 2 today. Exactly. That slipped my mind. My bad. You're right. My bad. I forgot. I got iSchool Pirates Me streams. Hey, at least you know where you're going. Could be worse. Probably need to write that out. But I see Steve Cangelosi at the very least going to Apple TV. Shep Messing, that's a little bit harder to call, but I'd say both of them do. But Steve Cangelosi for sure. I've just been staring down this beat down Toronto's about to get. Not that it matters, but we're still here to watch it. Orlando's underway into DC game 2. So Philly's just jackasses, that's all. So Philly are just jackasses by playing at 155. Okay, thank you very much. There's a fly behind, ain't it? No, there was a fly on my hat. And it flew off as soon as I walked. Fucking shit. Alright. I'm holding this thing. We got a couple of minutes anyway. Thought I killed that SOB. Guess not. The fly's still up. The fly was still up. Huh. We got like 15 minutes anyway. Then again, it probably would have hurt. Slap myself in the head with this zapper on my hat. Probably would have caught on fire too. I would have went full Michael Jackson. It would have caught on fire. Probably. Well then. I've at some point catch this thing day because, well, "12 minutes to kickoff." Lovely. Be sort of expeditious. Huh. Or not. Well, there you go. What's the likelihood we get a point today on the road? Looking at the lineup, 15%. Point is very unlikely. Think. There we go. Thought I hit it in the air, but guess not. Oh, there it is. Or not. Nope. This is my appetizer before my game. And in this metaphor, the Fly is Toronto and I'm Philadelphia. We'll probably not give them anybody really to select anyway. That did not sound good. Hope that's outside. I don't think nobody's going to get selected off Toronto by STL. There's no way. Maybe. Well, if we don't keep Lucas protected, he may be picked. I could see that happening. Actually, now that I think about it. Maybe Petrasso, but thought so. I thought so. I could have told you. Who would you put on the protected list? Well, the it's not 5 players, isn't it? Well, besides all the DPs and I would put McNaughton. If they're not DPs and all that, McNaughton. If we keep Oso's rights, Oso. Fuck. Yeah, I didn't get it. Things impossible to get. But McNaughton, Oso, Westberg, I wouldn't protect. I don't think we have to. Jimenez. That's really the only 3 I'd want to. Petrasso, McNaughton, Jimenez, Petrasso. The DPs are already protected. Yeah, we're going to be dealing with that throughout the game. Andre Blake, starting 11 for Philly. Andre Blake, Oliver Mbazzo, Jakob Glenez, Jake Elliott, Matt Real, Jose Martinez, Jack McGlynn, Leon Flock, Daniel Gazdag, Mikel Ura, and Julian Carranza. Nice. For the Union, that's their starting 11. And for Toronto FC, we got Quentin Westberg, Shane O'Neill, Chris Mavinga, Lucas McNaughton, Jaquil Marshall-Ruddy, Michael Bradley, Luca Petrasso, Noble Okello, Mark Anthony Kay, Federico Bernardeschi, and Jesus Jimenez. I wouldn't complain about it. I would not complain about that at all. Maybe he needs a change of scenery, and let's be honest, I'd be happy for him if he succeeded in St. Louis. I'm good with it, frankly. There we go. But with that being said, I wouldn't hate it if Io went to St. Louis. 5 minutes to kickoff between Union and Toronto. Toronto in the gray, Union in the blue. Opposite of what the first fixture was back in April. Yeah, April. Who would you put on the cut list? We need center backs. So Shane O'Neill, I think, has to stay. Bono's a free agent, so that's good news. Westberg, I'd rather him stay. Honestly, I like Cozy Thompson. I don't think he should be cut. Shaquille, I'd rather try to sell him before we cut him. Richie, we'll see what happens with him. For me, midfield-wise, K was a bad signing, but you can't cut him. I like Achara. Mavinga, I think you'd be a backup. I'm not so sure. Think you got to go. Hugo Mbong, we haven't seen enough of, but he's on the roster. Paul Rothrock, I'd rather them call up than cut. It's hard to say. Daniel Henry, he's only on a 6-month deal, so he's a free agent at the end of this. I don't think we should re-sign him. I guess that's technically a cut. He barely got any playing time anyway. Daniel barely got any playing time anyway, so what could you do there? I could say, I hope Schaffenberg comes back from loan. I don't think he should be cut. He should be played in the midfield when he comes back. Cozy and Nelson. I mean, I'm fine with keeping Nelson unprotected. I'm not really. He's better in the midfield than on the wing or wing back, but I'm not completely sold on Nelson. We could get rid of him. Why'd they sign K? It was certainly steep for a purchase price because they thought Mark Anthony K would be better than Prizo. Let's be honest. I think Ralph Prizo could have easily just been what Mark Anthony K or what we wanted Mark Anthony K to be. But no, we thought, hey, let's just play the older version of what we want. I've said Ralph Prizo was Mark Anthony K Mark II. I don't know why we needed to trade for K. That was absolutely stupid. I was like, really? It was like, that made no sense. Here we go. Match is about to kick off. Is that a Chick-fil-A ad? Yep, there we go. If the Union shut out Toronto today, they will own the best defensive record to play a 34-game MLS season, conceding only 26 goals this year. That's pretty good, actually. Yeah, they'll probably get it, though. TFC better sign Edric Menjivar in the offseason. I agree with that. Trade away all value, even in a rebuild. We should have kept all assets. Cannot wait to see Colorado prosper while we flunk. And Miami as well, because, Pozuelo. Just wait. Miami is going to somehow get to the Eastern Conference Final. I'll be happy for Alejandro. For the rest of them, I really could care less. I could really care less. But match is about to kick off here. Bob Bradley, 9-17-7 in his first season with a team. And I wish it was his only one, but it won't be. I wish it was his only one, but it won't be. Bacala. And here we go. Jim Curtin is 11-0-5 at home this season. No losses at home in Philadelphia for the Union. Oh, today's going to be fun, isn't it? Bobby Bacala. Lucas Spala is the referee today. Could be worse. Live in Atlanta, says Winvo. Here we go. TFC is kicked off. 90 more minutes of this 2022 season. The roller coaster that it was. And the moments that it brought. And we got it going. What will it take to show Bob Bradley the door? Another finish like this next year because they want to give him another year for some reason, even though it's his fault. We're at this point. The only thing that let me put it like this. The reason Jimbo Fisher's in a better position than Bob Bradley, even though they're a very similar coach in two different sports, is because he had 2 great seasons with Texas A&M before this shit show of a year. This is Bob Bradley's first year with Toronto FC. And it was shit. Because he doesn't know what he's doing. Because his system is expired in 2014. He didn't even succeed with us. He succeeded other places, but he didn't succeed with us. So why? What saves him? It makes no sense. The League's Cup will officially technically count as the North American Regions tournament to qualify for CCL. Exactly, that was the point. Even though MLS kind of wants it to be better, as in be more profitable or whatever. Erkan Kara already offside, not shocked. Good defensive play by Toronto 2 minutes in the game. Not that it matters because we're going to get scored on and we're going to get owned. Why am I subjected to watch Dom Dwyer? Because you're a sinner. We're all mortal souls who sin. And because of that, we have to watch Dom Dwyer. I don't know what I did to anger God. And I don't know what you did to anger God. I'm talking about last year, too. It was worse for me. I had to watch him on my own team last year. Third minute. 0-0. We got to be funny today because there's absolutely nothing to enjoy. Free kick for the Union. 3 minutes in. 3 minutes in. I mean, cross in. They probably gave him, I mean, he still has to get over that familial problem. Because we know what happened. And this game doesn't matter. They probably told him to take a load off. Frankly, I don't think that was his decision to take a load off. They probably told him to. Now, Fetty, he played. But he has no reason to take a load off. Now, Crescito, on the other hand, 3:21. 3:25. Plays forward. Cross in. Matt Real. Cross in. Glenez. Jakob Glenez! What a banger. Oh, my word. It's 1-0 already for Philadelphia. Jakob Glenez scores a banger already for Philadelphia. I'm not shocked. 4 minutes. One nothing, 1-0. What a banger, though. I can't get mad at it. Matt Real plays it in. Headed away by Bradley. Falls to Glenez, and that's a banger. You know what, honestly? Montreal doesn't win the East and Bob gets fired if that happens, you know what? Pile it on, Philly. Pile it on. We would be so glad that you did. Pile it on. You don't let Montreal win the conference in the regular season and you get Bob fired. Please. Pile it on. There's more where that came from. Pile it on. And this is the second ever time I've ever rooted for that. DC United was the first. That DC United game, by the way. That. You know which DC United game I'm talking about. By the time I put this thing up, I'm going to actually see the damn thing. Or not. Just going to pop that down there. See, here's the problem with that. Goat dag. DC concede. Trattate bene il mio Lorenzo Insigne. He's not there in Italian? What's he's not there in Italian? 1-0 Cincinnati. Well, there you go. 1-0 Daniel Gaz. It was Daniel Gazdag, actually. Is he the one who wears... Oh, he wears number... It was Daniel Gazdag, actually. Daniel Gazdag. He's the one who wears number 6. Jakob Glenez wears 5. I screwed that up. See? How the hell? Next Saturday. Next Saturday is when playoffs begin. November 5th is MLS Cup. Now you know. Oh, when this page gets filled up. Nobody to blame but myself. Daniel Gazdag. Never mind. I could have sworn Fought Mob said Glenez. And never mind. Still a banger. Everything stays the same except Daniel Gazdag scored the banger. At least he didn't score a hat trick against Italy in the Nations League. But he's about to score a hat trick here, and there's Westberg clears it 7 minutes in. Not that it mattered. DC concede. What'd you expect? I can't wait till the World Cup next month. Hell, I'm going to be happy after this because playoffs start. Mississippi State's number 16 in college football, so, you know, that's good news. Hold on. I thought I saw it. Well, there you go. That'll be a goal kick. Or not. Thought I had it. Cincinnati has 2. I hope that's not the case. I hope they do some in the winter, but I have a feeling you may be right. We'll get this flat before I eat. I know that for sure. There we go. 2-0 Cincinnati already. Lol. 9th minute, 1-0. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. 2-0 Cincinnati. We'll see what the Western Conference looks like after this game is over. I want Philly. You know what? The more I think about it, I wanted Philly to win this match. Because that means Montreal won't be top of the East. I'm upset. Do your job, and you won't have to worry about that. Do your job, and you won't have to worry about that. Problem is they don't really know until they know. So Bradley plays forward. 10th minute, Toronto FC plays back. They have a chance to tie this up already. I'm actually shocked. Petrasso or Jimenez, and that's through for a corner kick. Toronto actually has a chance. They'll blow it. But Bernardeschi, Federico Bernardeschi, to play the ball forward. Fetty to play the ball forward off this corner. See what he does. 1-0 Philadelphia. 10 minutes in. Can Toronto equalize for a short period of time? Jaquil Marshall-Ruddy. Jaquil all the way through. Goal kick. Ric Flair said it right. To be the man, you have to beat the man. Unfortunately, TFC haven't beat enough to be considered the man. Definitely not this year. And next year, I don't know if it'll be that much different if Bob Bradley's still at the helm. That's the problem. Brenner had a bounce back year. Fair play. Yeah, I agree with that. For sure. You know, it'd be nice if a certain team picked him up at low value and had him have that bounce back year. But no, we have no strikers. Well, Jimenez was good for like 2 months until he lost all his confidence. I hope Jimenez. I still have hope that it'll be better. Carranza gives away the foul, goal kick for TFC. And McNaughton's fighting Carranza. Carranza is trying to get away, but looked like Toronto wanted to start a scrap there. So you have heart that much, but you don't have enough heart to... Okay, all right. See, that's the thing that gets me, is the fact that TFC does have heart. Because if they didn't want to start a scrap today and just walk away from that play, I'd understand it. But they did start a scrap. So it's about the tactics. That just shows you. That little segment just shows you exactly what the problem with TFC is. It's not about the pride. And it's not about the heart. Heart only counts so much. What the fuck? Montreal 2-0 over Miami already. Well, we got to lose now. Well, Toronto's got to lose now. I mean, I don't want to see Montreal be top of the East. I don't know about you. Cross in! Does not get it to Ura. Mikel Ura. Last time we had a proven striker was Javinko, and Insigne and Bernardeschi are, in my opinion, playmakers. TFC's first need this offseason is that proven striker. You know, that's a point of view I haven't really heard, to be honest. It's really defense and midfield, but I do think you have a point. I think Jimenez could become that striker, but he needs to get his confidence back and probably have to have a really good offseason. Depends on how much work Jesus puts in, which is there really any work that he can put in? So it's very, very questionable. That's going to go. Westberg can save it. That'll be a goal kick. Almost an own goal there. I have great news for you. Due to Marcelo Flores' situation with Mexico, he recently said they'll no longer wait for Mexico and accept the call-up from Canada in the World Cup if Canada calls him up for the World Cup. Yeah, here's the problem with that. He waited a bit too long. Best chance is the Nations League. He's not getting called up for the World Cup unless like Atiba is just so out of form that they decide to call up Marcelo Flores. But that's unproven. Or Oso. If his head injury is so bad and so still lingering next month, they're going to have to call up Marcelo. But I just don't see that happening. I think Oso gets right before the World Cup. And I think Atiba gets right. NYC up 1. Doesn't shock me. 15th minute. How's Orlando doing? So right now, the East looks like, if I'm correct, Philadelphia, Montreal as the top 2. Cross in. Jaquil couldn't get it through. Second position they need to solidify in is goalkeeper. I agree with that, but I think midfield. 0-0 Orlando Columbus. Okay, so if we're looking at the Eastern Conference right now. The Eastern Conference right now as it stands. Philadelphia, Montreal, NYCFC, New York Red Bulls, FC Cincinnati, Inter Miami, and Columbus Crew. Orlando just misses out. And they're the only team with a crew that's fighting for a playoff spot in the East today that hasn't already been eliminated or already clinched. NYC sub out Tavon Gray. Ooh, not good. You don't want to see that. You do not want to see that. 16th minute, throw in for Toronto. Jaquil to take. Of course, Richie Larea out was on yellow card accumulation today. Lorenzo Insigne, probably they let him take a load off due to that family matter. Since this game doesn't even matter. I think it was the team itself. Crescito is not there as well. The game doesn't matter, so they're probably not playing him. Bernardeschi is playing. Oso, head injury still, or the post-concussion symptoms pretty much. Whatever you want to call that, the neurological problem. Has him out. In what could be his final match, or what could have been his final match for Toronto FC. Last time he played was like a month ago for TFC. 17th minute. Andre Blake. Trying to face his free kick against Bernardeschi. Bernardeschi puts it through, headed away and cleared. Throw in TFC, 17th minute. Still 1-0. Crazily enough, it's still 1-0. Throw in for Jaquil Marshall-Ruddy. I'm honestly shocked that it's this close. And Okello gave it away. Foul, free kick, Union. Unfortunately, I do not think that Mexico, Canada, and the USMNT will have a farewell match for the World Cup. Mexico has to be the only national team in the world where most of their countries are played in another, or games are played in another country instead of their home country. Thanks some Soccer United marketing. The Devils of CONCACAF. Almighty dollar. They only love the almighty dollar. They only love the almighty dollar. Do we need to buy out any players this offseason? I mean, I could give you an argument for Mark Anthony Kaye, but we just got him. I could give you an argument. Should have never traded for him in the first place. Chris Mavinga, maybe. I think he could be a good backup, but I think his time has passed him. If we're being serious, I think Mavinga's time has passed him. I think he's starting to decline heavily. And it sucks. I like Chris. Chris is a good guy. Chris has been a good footballer. He's a great guy. I hate to say it, but I think he's declining, and I'm not so sure that he can bring it to the level we expect him to. Now, can he play a backup role? Most likely, but even then, what this season showed that it wasn't just the fact that Chris was put with people who had concrete feet who didn't know how to defend. He's had serviceable center backs next to him, and it has not gone well. Salcedo, that did not go well. O'Neal, not really. McNaughton, I think that went the best, but I don't think Chris is a starter at this point. I really don't. I really don't. Okello, I could see us letting go of. I could see us letting go of him. The man doesn't know how to use his body. He should be a midfield destroyer. He really should be a midfield destroyer, and he just doesn't have, he doesn't know how to use his body. Flock crosses it over. Back out. All the way back to midfield, 20th minute. Yeah, I can see that. Besides the free agents, that doesn't really count as cuts, so, or buyouts. So, Bono notwithstanding, all that. Zuperich is out for us today. We're going to start Zach McGraw, Timbers. Okay, that isn't bad. As long as Zuperich is back for the playoffs and you're in, I don't think that's bad. Zach McGraw could do a job. I think he'll be fine. Here comes the Union. Gazdag. There we go. Gazdag. For me, I think Luka Gavran, at least as a backup goalkeeper. Paul Rothrock. Temi Antognalu. I thought Temi was okay when he played for the main team earlier this year, but you play him with a team that's more talented, or at least has more talent on the pitch, theoretically. I think that'd be fine. So Rothrock, Temi, and Luka Gavran. That's a foul, and they're not going to give it. All right. Will there ever be a women's MLS? There's something called the NWSL, the National Women's Soccer League. That's pretty much it. It's not that big yet, as in it's not number of teams isn't even, but no, Bernardeschi did get fouled. How are you not going to call that? And Federico Maya just got crocked as well. Why are you playing one of the Italians if you didn't play the other two? And Jakob Blanes may have just crocked Federico Bernardeschi. Luckily, this is the last game of the season. Bad news is fucking shit. Philly, you already lost the Shield. Trying to win the East, but you've already qualified for Champions League on virtue of the fact that if you lose the East, Montreal's on top. Why are you playing like this? It's going to be difficult to watch MLS next season as I never ever bought an Apple product. If you buy Apple TV, you can watch it on an Amazon Fire Stick or on an Android. You can watch it anywhere. You could stream it anywhere like you stream anything else. It's not just exclusive to Apple products, because trust me, if it was, I have no qualms buying an Apple TV. No qualms about it. And a Mac book. I need a laptop anyway, probably. The 23rd minute. I'm an Apple guy, even though I think they've gone to shit since Steve Jobs died, and they're basically just spinning their tires. You know, Apple's Apple. Have been ever since I was a freaking kid. A young kid. Since I was like 7. Always been fascinated with Apple. So. "24th minute. Boom. No. Carranza. Crossover. McGlynn. El Brujo. Martinez. Carranza. Gazdag. Defended away by Toronto. 24th minute. Why are they playing okay? Well, 1 year, $840K for Aston Reese with the Leafs. Good for them. Good for him. Good for him. Good player. 25th minute. And that's a horrible pass. Breakaway for Philly. With that being said, honestly, whatever TFC does can't piss me off today because the Blue Jays did enough yesterday. But, the bright side is I didn't have to watch both games at the same time. Because had the Blue Jays forced a game 3, it would have been at the same time as this game. Bright side, By the way, 904, congrats on the Mariners getting through to the ALDS. Well deserved. Well deserved. Still hurts that Toronto blew that damn lead, but well deserved. Jimmy VC signs with the Rangers. Seems like a signing they'd make. What up, Jesus? 26th minute. Free goal kick for Westberg, the Buffalo Blue Jays. At this point, they should be moved to Buffalo. That was some bullshit. At this point, they should be moved to Buffalo. After all that. Score 1-0 Philadelphia. 26th minute. Luis Diaz low. Did he do it again? Did Luis Diaz do it again? The end for TFC. Yep. The roller coaster is over. Embarrassing the Toronto name. We already have enough teams doing that. You see, though, that's kind of their gimmick. So. 3-1 Cincinnati, DC. Damn. Arsenal 3-2 win today against Liverpool. A fluke. No, Arsenal's actually really good this year. It's not a fluke. It's not a fluke. And I'm not even an Arsenal fan. I'm happy they're back, though. I'm happy they're back, though, because when I was growing up, Arsenal were a damn good team. They were a name to be feared. The fact that they became banter is actually kind of sad, frankly. So, the fact that Arsenal's back, that feels like it's right. It feels like it's right that they're back. Kind of like how, Texas should be back. Westberg over the bar. Almost got chipped. Going to get that damn fly. Let's see if I get it this time. That fucker was quicker than a... Oh, no. 20th minute. He's on fire. Blue Jays will never win the World Series again. Odds are completely against them. You know what? Would not be shocked. Sadly, I don't think the Cardinals ever win the World Series again because if you can't win with Albert and Yachty on their final season, who knows? I will get that fucking fly sometime before I eat. I remember people calling him a flop, but Odegaard buried Real Madrid. I agree with that. Arsenal put a smile on my face today. Good for you. Happy for you. 29th minute. I'm just hoping Toronto... Part of me hopes Toronto doesn't get embarrassed. Part of me hopes they do. Because you know what? Honestly, a 9-0 loss would probably get Bob Bradley fired. At some point, you can't just sit there and say, hey, you got a year. After 9-0, you really have to consider. As long as Montreal don't win the East. I'm happy they're back. Odegaard has destroyed Real Madrid. Lovely. Odegaard better than De Bruyne. You know what? That sounds kind of like a trolly comment, but you know what? I see what you're saying. When does the 2023 MLS season start? End of February. Middle of February, right after the Super Bowl, you got the CCL. Then 2 weeks, the weekend after leg 2, you got the first game of the MLS season. So about what? November, December, January, about 4 months. The power of prime hydration brought Arsenal back. Okay, let's not go there. Let's not give Logan Paul and KSI credit for anything. They don't, they don't deserve it. Save. Why ain't Tate trying to make a hydration drink? Let's see why. Arsenal was Drew McIntyre when he was a jobber, but now when he got that push. Exactly. The Scottish psychopath, Drew McIntyre. The era of that. Don't know if that they're a champion yet, but they're definitely getting the push. No, that was more Scottish Warrior than Scottish Psychopath. Scottish Psychopath was when he was like running around with Ziggler in a tag team. Yeah, you got a point. I got a point, yeah. 31st minute. So what does Larea do till then? Till the World Cup? Does he go back to Forest and train with them? That would make sense, right? Toronto's not training again till January. Like, they go back to preseason like the week of my birthday. So, that could make sense. And then, of course, there's the World Cup. So I'm sure he tries that they'll let him go back and train there to stay in somewhat of form. Or maybe he treats it like a regular MLS offseason and just does what he has to do. Or maybe Canada, their MLSers, train amongst each other until they get to the end of the MLS season and they all meet. And then they add up the Europeans when that window opens. So I'm not sure. I don't really have any cross in off the corner. I really don't have any insights into that because I don't know really how that works. How the technical part of the loan works. I know what a loan is. Let me put it like this. I know what a loan is supposed to do, but I don't know if you, in an off season, if it's to MLS from a European team and you go back in the off season or the next season for a half a season, do you train with a European team because your MLS team's not training? But then you have the World Cup, so saved by Westberg. So it's an interesting situation. I really don't have any. I'd like to see Larea confirm what he's doing, but Brenner scored again. Damn. Jobber takes by Jobber uses. Texas won, Arkansas, 0. College soccer. Nice. Toluca advanced to Leguia's 6th seed against Santos Laguna and Cruz Azul 7th seed against Monterrey. Later today is Guadalajara versus Puebla. The winner will advance as the 8th seed against Club America. And who else? Cross in, saved by Andre Blake. There's a 4th, 6th. So who's the 5th seed? Because there was another one yesterday. Tigres, Cruz Azul, Toluca. Okay, yeah, got it. Tigres, there we go. Not even a take, Ryan. You should join 3MB. I'm not a jobber, so no. No. Besides, I don't like playing air guitar either. I think 3MB was the worst thing that ever happened to Drew McIntyre's career, so why? I'm excited for decision day to end so I could start my MLS bracket challenge completely unbiased. Yeah, that's a different experience for you, isn't it? I've done it before. Multiple times. Well, no, by the time I could actually do the MLS bracket challenge and actually have it count, only once, but or twice, because when you're when you're 18, you can do it bracket challenge and sign up for it. So I did 2018 and 2021, so twice. And then 3 other years where Toronto made the playoffs. 19 and 20. 19, 20. Well, 2 and 3, actually. Did you see Bray Wyatt return? Yeah, I saw the news. Gillespie, what a save. Gallese, what a save in the Orlando game. He made a save he had to make. 35th minute. But yeah, so I've had that feeling before where I've had to make the MLS bracket unbiased. Header! And what a horrible miss on the header. Onside still for Toronto. Nope. Goal kick, 35th minute. Surprising, I knew it uses. Sadly, you know, the thing about this game that really pisses me off is the fact that Andre Blake really hasn't had to make any saves. I can't even make a joke. I can't even make the joke. Though the losers may try, no one makes the saves like Andre Blake. Something. Always. Do you like Bray? I think he's a good wrestler, Bray Wyatt, and a great character gimmick as well, normally. "37th minute or 36th minute. Surprising I knew it. 1-0 Philadelphia. I could honestly make 2 double whammy jokes in this game, though. Bob Bradley's like the Enron whammy. Montreal 3-0 Miami. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving to my Canadian viewers, yes. That I will celebrate once I ever move up there. But I'm not going to celebrate it on Canadian Thanksgiving Day until I move up there because it'd just be stupid. So for now, Thanksgiving for me is still Egg Bowl Day at the same time. Or same day, I should say. Works out for me, though. I've transitioned to an LAFC fan. Sorry, Mexico, I'm a Chavista, but MLS, I'm LAFC. It's okay. I don't have any problems with LAFC. I'm starting to realize that the reason I hated LAFC, turns out it was Bob Bradley. Turns out he was a really big reason. And I didn't realize it until now. I always thought he was a pretentious bastard. I always thought he was a pretentious bastard, and I never could put my finger on it. Well, now I know. Orlando 0, Crew 1. The Winvo cries in pain. Ooh, a whammy. Bradley led you astray. We were already led astray. We thought he'd bring us back to the promised land, but he ain't done shit. Though the losers may try, no one makes pizza pie. Jesus, this thing is flying quicker than a frickin'... I actually did scream in fear. I've had that feeling before. Though the losers... Oh. Well, interesting. 39th minute. Huh, well, interesting. Chivas USA is a good club to support. I mean, LAFC. I was there in Bank of California when Vela destroyed Leon and CCL. And then pandemic hit like 3 weeks later, didn't it? And then the pandemic hit like 3 weeks later. Oh, the losers may try to. That flew off. I won't get that freaking fly. Got to before I eat. 1-0. Maybe I'll get it at halftime. It'll show up again. Over the top. Ura. And that's a free kick. That'll be a free kick for Philadelphia because, of course, though the losers may try, no one makes pizza pie like. What if TFC had Vela and Chicharito up front? We would be, I don't know how good we'd be, actually. I actually think that would make us worse. Who would be the most realistic game-changing coach we could go for if Bob Bradley refuses to get it right next year? I think we need to get it right soon or TFC will be relegated similarly to the Toronto Rock. Ooh. Oh, Andre Salini? I guess. See what Tuca does with Pumas. Tata Martino after 2022. No, we would be screwed. If we do that, we're screwed. That's the same situation, except he's Argentinian. But he won MLS Cup. It's the exact same shit that we did with Bradley. El Gordo is finished. Just like Bradley is. Let's not hire on a past resume, please. Let's not hire on past resumes. Ura. Mikel Ura. Goal! Goal, Philadelphia, 2-0, Mikel Ura. 2-0. I kind of expected that, didn't you? Mikel Ura. There it is. For the first minute. 42nd minute, Mikel Ura. Game-changing coach. Happy I don't have to hear the Doop song today. That's a great Thanksgiving Day gift. You're just hearing me talk about this match, ain't you? Schmetzer to USMNT would be cool. Honestly, he'd be pretty good for the USMNT, but that's not the answer to my question. Would have been good to pick up Schmetzer when he was a free agent, but we didn't do that. That was the year Vanny left, too. Mikel Ura. See, 2-0 Toronto just got scored on again by Mikel Ura. And Daniel Gazdag scored the first goal. The man I told you that I was worried would score a hat trick on Italy when they were about to play Hungary, but at least, he didn't do that. So, and it's about to be 3, isn't it? It's about to be 3. I saw yesterday's game, like the last 5 seconds, when I thought Alabama was about to lose to Texas A&M and help Mississippi State get even higher than 16. But doesn't matter. We'll kick Alabama's ass in about 2 weeks. I'm not worried about it. Mississippi State gonna kick Alabama's ass in 2 weeks. I'm sure. That's the thing I've been the most sure of. I've not been sure of something in my life. I've not been more sure of something in my life. Mississippi State is going to kick Alabama's ass in 2 weeks. I ain't been so sure of something in my life. I shall be back. I was done done talking about State, if that's the problem. I know it's not, but at least Georgia beat Auburn. That don't help me. I will beat Georgia's ass too. I'm not worried about it. Cruz up 1 versus Orlando is DC 1, Cincinnati 4. Winvo is just oh, wait, it's almost halftime. There we go. Yeah, he's destroyed. Winvo's Brock Lesnar. I'm out. Gotta go eat. Oh, wait. Yeah, that makes sense. TFC disappoints. They always do, Yeezus. They always do. This team is a joke. This team is a joke. At least I expected this. The Blue Jays, I didn't. You know, that's the problem, you know? It's the problem about yesterday. 45th minute. How much stoppage time? Please tell me there's 0. And here comes the Union. They may just score a 3rd goal. Gazdag. Two minutes of stoppage time. Jesus Jimenez! Cross! Ow! It's off the line! Bernardeschi! Oh, no, it was, no, that was, I think, Marshall Ruddy, actually. I don't know. We suck. That's why. We suck. I could have told you that already. 3-1 United Marcus Rashford. Hey, at least Orlando's in the Champions League. At least they have that. We don't have shit. Could be worse. You could beat Toronto. Bottom of the bleeding conference, and you ain't got shit. Got him. Fun. Right before halftime. Happy decision day. Fly. That's dead. I did. Got it. There we go. Finally, you ain't got to worry about the second half being a problem. Plays through. Leon Flock. Past the post. Halftime at Eastern Conference Decision Day. Halftime, 2-0 Union. Yep, halftime, 2-0 Union. TFC, not that bad, but not that great either. Atlanta still playing +7. Now, all our players get to go on vacation. That might include our management, and us fans need to keep optimistic. We'll get it right next year with no signs of changing. Yeah, I agree. There's no signs of changing. You're right, and that's the problem. Disallowed goal for Rashford. The one that made it 3-1, or did he score another that could have made it 4? Columbus, Orlando, 6 minutes of stoppage. That's just sad. Well, that being said, 2-0 at halftime for Philadelphia over Toronto. At least the bright side is Montreal's not finishing top of the East. But if Toronto even gets a point, Montreal will. We got to lose this game for the good of my sanity. We have to lose this game for the good of my sanity. I can't believe I've ever said that before, but hey, you know, if we could F over Montreal, that's fine by me. If we could screw over Montreal, that's fine by me. Could be worse. Could be worse. NYCFC are playing better as a team, or Winvo. I'm still not used to Winvo having its name changed. Still not used to it. With that being said, we'll take a short break at the half, talk about the stats. Once I get back, all that, sit tight. We'll be back. go. Here we go. Back for the stats at the half. 55% possession to 45% possession. 7 shots to 2. 209 accurate passes, 83% to 165 accurate passes, 81%. 7 fouls to 6. 2 offside to 1. 1 corner to 2. 4 shots on goal to 1. 7 shots to 2. 253 passes to 204. 83% pass accuracy to 81. 9 throws to 8. Wow, we had 3 accurate crosses and couldn't do shit with it. Of course we wouldn't. 6 tackles, 1 to 5. 5 interceptions to 7. 1 block to 2. 6 clearances to 12. 0 saves to 2. So, yeah, I can't even make the pizza whammy joke for Andre Blake, or a derivative, I should say. 0 yellow cards to 1. 0 red cards to 0. And it's 2-0 Philly. It's not as bad as you'd expect, but it still sucks. Performance not as bad as I expected. I thought we'd get utterly thrashed instead of just, lightly pushed down. But, could be worse. It could have been worse. The performance, considering the 11 we put out, isn't too bad. It isn't great. It isn't even good. But it isn't horrible. It could be worse. And I wish it kind of was, so Bob Bradley would get fired. But, beggars can't be choosers, right? Beggars can't be choosers. With that being said, Philly played a very good first half. They allowed pressure when they could, didn't really phase them. They scored goals when they could. Honestly, on the break, very good game so far by the Union. And then it is what it is. So, Orlando's down 1-0 at halftime. Women's College Soccer update, 80th minute. Texas just scored, making it Texas 2, Arky 0. Arky! Why are you so bad at sports? I have a soft spot for Arky. Let's be honest. As long as they're not playing state, I have a soft spot for Arky. Wait, whoa. How does Arky have a program? Wait, how does Arky have a program? Second half's about to start. Let's get this over with. Hold on before we do anything else. No, it's just Kansas. It's Kansas. It's the Jayhawks. Rock Chalk Jayhawk, not something like that. Eastern Conference as it stands. Please, we need this W, man. Geno Smith. Praying on Geno Smith for a win. Couldn't be me. And honestly, I'd rather have Geno Smith over Brian Hoyer. I like Bailey Zappi, but still not that good. For the Eastern Conference as it stands right now, Philadelphia Union in first, CF Montreal in second, New York City FC third, New York Red Bulls fourth, FC Cincinnati in fifth, Columbus Crew in sixth, and Inter Miami in seventh. Andres Munoz owned the Blue Jays. I agree. He did. Leafs should beat Russell Wilson in week 1. Let Russ cook. Doesn't work. Our boys look ready. Of course, the teams that were Orlando's on the outside looking in as it stands right now. Charlotte, New England, Atlanta, Chicago, Toronto, and DC were all eliminated before today. So all they could do is play spoiler. Oh, Hugo Mbong is on the bench. And we didn't put Temi on Tognalu or... Hold on. Oh, Temi on Tognalu is on the bench. Good. Play him. Caden Chung on the bench. Temi on Tognalu and Hugo Mbong are on the bench. You know what? Play him in the second half. Why the hell not? Why the hell not? I'm sure they will. The true opening night for the NHL season and over stateside is Tuesday. Well, that'll be great. Wonder what the Leafs are going to be doing. Can't wait for the NHL season to start. And then the Leafs to let me down in the first round once again. We'll get there when we get there. Texas A&M, 90th minute winner versus Ole Miss in women's soccer, 2-1. There's a hole in Oxford that they call Ole Miss. Go to hell, Ole Miss, go to hell. Lovely. Southgate or Bob Bradley, who you taking? You know what? Southgate. I'll take Southgate. He at least has a system that didn't expire in 2014. Now, maybe did it expire in 2020? Yes, but that's less spoiled milk than the other bag of milk. So you know what? He at least has an idea of how to build a more recent current system. So you know what? Southgate. NHL Wednesday, Avs banner raised to the ceiling. Good for them. Be a good moment for them. Here comes Toronto right off the bat. Can't get it away. Who will win the MLS playoffs? For me, I think here's the favorites in my book. I can't give you a single prediction right now. Philadelphia is a favorite. Portland, I still think they can make a deep run. Austin, no. Austin's outside favorite. They're not a favorite. LAFC, Portland, Philadelphia, those are like my three big favorites. I just can't shake the feeling Portland's going to go deep again. I can't shake the feeling. Nashville, they're like on Austin tier. They're like outside looking in, but like I wouldn't be completely shocked if they went and won the MLS Cup. You could say, what about Montreal? I don't even want to think of the possibility. I know they can, and I know they're probably a favorite. I don't want to think of the possibility, though. So, it's like Ole Miss winning the College World Series this year. I don't want to think of the possibility until it's facing me right dead in the eyes, and then I'll puke. So, I'm not sleeping on Montreal. I just don't want to see it. And then I'll be like freaking Jack Nicholson in The Silence of the Lambs once it's happening with my eyes like glued open with freaking power cables and shit. Or whatever. Here comes Philly. That won't be fun. I think Piojo's right. He's saying exactly what we all know. Free kick for the Union. MLS is getting, I don't know if light years ahead, but they are ahead now. They have closed the gap and overtaken Liga MX. El Piojo's right. I can't believe he actually said it, but he's right. He's right. The fact that he said that at Tigres, you know what? Maybe Club America was the reason why he was a jackass. Okay. Kai Kamara's pushing for Landon Donovan. Golden Boot. DC, Cincinnati. DC 2, Cincinnati 4. I can't believe it, but Cincinnati's still winning. Hold on. DC scored 30 seconds into the second half. Fletcher. What teams in the Western Conference would be surprised if they got knocked out this decision day? Minnesota and Portland. Well, I mean, it's the losers of the Portland RSL game. in the Vancouver-Minnesota game. I think Portland and Minnesota are going to the playoffs. I think they're winning those games. I think they're going to the playoffs or getting the result that gets them in. Vancouver and RSL, I think they fall at the final hurdle. But if the opposite happens and Vancouver and RSL get in, I'd be very shocked if Portland and Minnesota get knocked out, especially Portland. As I said, I could totally see Portland going to MLS Cup and winning it all. So that's the situation. Corner for TFC. Full-time, Texas A&M 2, Ole Miss 1. You love to see it, RSL. Could we imagine Vancouver versus Montreal in MLS Cup? I would be rooting for Vancouver. I actually, forget the suit. I'd be wearing the Whitecaps jersey because you know what? The Whitecaps are not Montreal. I'd be wearing that Whitecaps jersey I have in my collection because you know what? I'd rather the Whitecaps win an MLS Cup than Montreal, especially if they're against each other. Vanni Sartini may be an insufferable jackass after he wins it, but you know what? It's better than Montreal winning it. Way better. Way better. But if that's an MLS Cup I don't want to see. So if we could take the first leg to that and Minnesota make the playoffs, that would be great. And then like NYCFC do a job against Montreal, that would also be great. Or no, it's Inter Miami versus Montreal again. We could have a repeat. Just if you look at the standings right now, we could have a repeat of the Inter Miami Montreal match in Montreal. I guess Montreal wins that. And then they would play the winner of NYCFC and Columbus Crew as it stands right now. We need NYCFC to do a job in Stade Saputo. That's what we need. Or Philadelphia to beat the shit out of them in the Eastern Conference Final. Either way, whoever's playing Montreal, I am a huge fan of for 90 minutes, possibly more. DC to win 5-4, Orlando to 1-1 tie, then Orlando wins MLS Cup. Don't say that. No. 50th minute, 2-0 still. Petrasso gets freaking bombed through by Oliver and Bizo, and that's somehow not a yellow card? Que cazzo? No. LPO said MLS is a league is light years ahead of us. Now they're looking to beat Spain, Italy, and England. They don't even look behind to see the Mexican league. He's right. 32-31 Seahawks beating the Saints. 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. What the hell is going on with the Saints? What the hell? I know Andy Dalton ain't that good, but geez. Who the... AKA, the only reason I like the Bucs is Tom Brady. Of course, I don't hate the Saints as long as I have no problem with the Saints if they're not playing Tom Brady. Little secret, but it is what it is. And Brady could have been a Saint had Drew Brees not been an egotistical jackass and not tried to play another year. But no, Drew Brees made me have to hide the fact I like the Saints were my second favorite team because Tom Brady had to choose the other team in that division. Seriously, could have been a Saint. But Drew Brees had to be egotistical jackass and play another season that he was totally washed for anyway. It's on you, Drew. It's on you. Second half started NYC versus Atlanta. If Impact win MLS Cup, that better get TFC motivated for next year. They'll never get motivated. There we go. Who dat? Who dat, baby? Who dat? There we go. There we go. Not to me. Jimenez. Our guys look focused and ready for the game with the Timbers. The Timbers game. 5-2 Cincinnati. Jesus. Do you agree with Hercules Gomez when he said that Liga MX fans should be infuriated with the new League's Cup? I don't see why he would say that. Is it because the fact all the games are in the U.S.? Maybe that's the case, but I don't see it. This was always going to be the case. You knew this was the case from day one, so I don't know why now. It helps qualify to CONCACAF Champions League. It's more MLS versus Liga MX matches. It's more good competition, and it helps grow the region. Is it still a bit of a money grab? Maybe, but I don't completely see why he said that. I don't completely see it. Hercules been taking a couple L's recently, not going to lie. And Sebi actually took a W recently, not going to lie. 5-2 Cincinnati, DC, fuck y'all, shitty-ass club. It's the fact that all games be in the U.S. and Canada. You knew that from day one. So why you should have been infuriated from day one. Why do you wait till they completely give you all the facts? This was a fact we knew from day one, so why not get infuriated then? Why now? Why now? You knew this from day one. It was U.S. and Canada. Games in U.S. and Canada. No Mexico games. You knew this. So why now? And here's the funny thing. Liga MX fans always travel well. And I mean, actually, the actual Mexican fans, they always travel well. So why are you infuriated? Petrasso, cross. Oh, nothing there. And they're trying to get a penalty, but they get nothing out of it. And Bernardeschi's pissed. 2-0 RB Red Bulls. Okay. Rooney at Derby, bad and relegated. DC Rooney sucks too. Yeah, at least he can't get relegated here, though. 55th minute. But here's the thing. Toronto FC, Tigres fans overran BMO Field during the Campeones Cup. There were trumpets and drum. Like the melodic chants. You could hear those melodic chants and stuff at BMO Field. At BMO Field for Campeones Cup, the first ever Campeones Cup. And they think that's a Malero, and they were there. They overran BMO Field, Tigres fans. And you want to tell me that you're infuriated that Leagues Cup games are just in the U.S. and Canada, and you're already good travelers. Why are you infuriated? You knew this from day one, and now you're infuriated because you got all the facts. But when you travel well. I don't see it. I know what I'm saying. I don't. No. Hercules should be glad they incented Liga MX to play a Leagues Cup tournament instead for a cash grab. Hercules has taken a couple L's recently. It doesn't matter where Liga MX team or Mexican national team will play because the fans always travel in packs. That's the point I'm making. Toronto's honestly pretty good here offensively right now. The Mexican fans are very passionate. I respect that. But that also shows when they travel. They travel very well for any match. Now, of course, there's going to be groups of American living or fans that live in America or Canada for those Mexican teams. But I'm sure they don't really stick out like a sore thumb unless they're a gringo. But, I mean, like I would if I was there on their side because, say it's like Montreal versus Tigres and I have a Tigres jersey on and I'm like, why the hell not? I'm not really even a Tigres fan, so to speak, over the bar, but I have a soft spot for them. But, just say that happened, then I'd stick out like a sore thumb. But, I mean, I ain't rooting for Montreal. You're crazy. Seahawks 32 Saints against Central American teams. Brenner assists 5th Cincinnati goal. Speaking of Campeones Cup and Atlas signed Benjamin Mora Mendivil as a new coach. Who? Yeah, you're screwed. I knew Atlas was screwed. They signed a literally who. I need to look him up. I enjoyed the Cruz Azul versus Toronto FC game in, was it 2010? 2010? That's a handball. Off the hand. Is that a penalty? I think it was either 20. No, it was 2010 because we didn't get out of the group. that year. Yeah. Because back in the day, they played Cruz Azul in the group stage and didn't lose. I think they won. They were unbeaten. They didn't lose. Texas 2, Arkansas 0. Mexico played against Canada in Vancouver few years ago. There were more Mexico fans than Canada fans. Yep. That third round qualifier, BC place, yeah. That was not a good. That did not look good for Canada. And that was still the Zambrano years. That did not look good. Montreal 3, Inter Miami 0. Cade York missed a game-winning field goal. Temi Ontognalu and Ayo Akinola are about to come on for TFC. Benjamin Mora Mendeville is a Mexican football manager who's the head coach of Atlas with Johor Darul Tazim. He won the Malaysian Super League title in 2021. Malaysia! Atlas just totally... Okay, yep. I ain't going to be up at 9 a.m. tomorrow, okay? So, yeah, no. Connor's having cake to celebrate Orlando losing. That's good. Hope it's red velvet. Well, no, it can't be red velvet. Hope it's yellow cake. Like really yellow cake. We're not talking about uranium. Penalty for Philly off the handball. Think it's Gazdag to take. Westberg versus Gazdag in the 60th minute. Goal! Goal! Philadelphia Union! Gazdag! Penalty in the 60th minute. Now it's getting there. $3-0. So what should the review be more of? More of me just going over the whole season in general and eulogizing the season, or talking about this game? As I don't think there's really anything to talk about but the goals. What do you think? Besides a little bit, the goals and the stats, and then a little bit. I think it'll be both. What do you think? What do you think? Gazdag has 7 PK goals this season, most in MLS. Chocolate Cake. Yeah, no, that ain't too bad. And Chocolate Cake, they don't have Brown in their logo, but they're owned by the Browns owners. So yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. But I'll still talk a little bit about this game besides the goals and stats. I'll wrap it up. But Temi Ontognalu on for Luca Petrasso. I don't think there will be anything really to say. So that's what I have to say. The FMF is keeping Tata on purpose because they want to see Mexico crash out of the group stage of the World Cup. I wouldn't be shocked. Bills 38, Steelers 3. Good thing I picked the Bills. At least I know that's right. Giants beat Green Bay, right? That's wrong. Season wrap up. I don't think I'll do season standings. I have an idea for like the off season, though. Like in between World Cup and MLS Cup. I have an idea for a video where I think I'm going to create a power ranking poll that's more mathematics based instead of just saying, hey, here's results and here's what we think. Like I'm going to create a formula similar to the JP poll formula. I already have the idea for it. I think I'll just do MLS at this point. And that should be 4! And we just let Daniel Gazdag score a hat trick. Goal! Daniel Gazdag, 4-0, hat trick. Came somewhere. I said he'd score a hat trick against both Toronto and Italy. Well, at least he got one of them. My vision is amazing. My future vision is amazing. Daniel Gazdag scores a hat trick against Toronto FC. Good goal, though. Great run by Daniel Gazdag. Hat trick. The hat trick. Plays through. Beats McNaughton. Good. And just puts it past Westberg. I'd say at least 3 more. But I don't know. 63rd minute. Daniel Gazdag with a hat trick and his 22nd goal of the season. Oh, boy. At least I called this like 3 weeks ago. I said Daniel Gazdag could get a hat trick against Toronto. I said it 3 weeks ago, just so you know. If Danielle is here, she could vouch. I said it 3 weeks ago, or before the Hungary-Italy game, so that was probably more like about 2 weeks ago. But, you know, that was more like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, but still. Yeah. The Italy part didn't happen. Gazdag scoring a hat trick against Italy did not happen, but the Toronto part, that did happen. Orlando tied. Good for you, barely still alive. Now that P.O. said MLS is better than Liga MX right now, really wish he was the main direct TiVo at Liga MX because he would want to make sure Liga MX stays better for MLS than for generations. You know, Piojo, they wouldn't want him to be there. Piojo actually speaks his mind and knows what the hell he's talking about. They wouldn't want him there as a direct TiVo. Yellow card for Mavinga, and Mbaizo gets taken out big. 64th minute. Just so you know, I called it. Just so you know, I called the hat trick. No, I will say that. Called it. Does MLS Next Pro have a position for Bob Bradley? No. And if Greenville Blues FC ever becomes a thing, there's two people that I'll never hire. The two pictures on a bulletin board of Chris Armas and Bob Bradley. No. 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 Hell no. I'd rather hire Weekend at Bernie's than Bob Bradley. P.O. is by far more intelligent than all the Liga MX direct TiVos, and that's why they would never hire him. Speaking of MLS Next Pro, you know what? I don't know, but I think Gianni Simini may actually be a better coach than Bob Bradley, tell you the truth. Goal for NYCFC, says brother BKL. Nice. Ollie Curtis got a job with MLS Next Pro. Maybe Bob could join him. You know what I wanted to see? Ollie Curtis was in Columbus last week. I'm sure he was there this week too. But he would have had to hand off the MLS Next Pro Eastern Conference Championship to us had we won that game. I wanted to see the Schadenfreude. That would have been amazing. Sadly, we pulled a TFC and that did not happen. And Columbus ended up winning the whole league. But I wanted to see the Schadenfreude. I was hoping. Didn't happen, though. Will Chivas beat Puebla today? I say yes. Or Josie Altidore goes complete clutch Josie, and then, you know, Orlando's still 8th place. They have to... Oh, yeah. DC has to come back to win. Hey, Bear, baby. 2-0 NYC. Yep. TFC, 4-0. Why is it every time we've gone up to Subaru Park in the 2020s, we've gotten our ass kicked? Every single time. 5-0, 2020. 3-0, 2021. I think it was 3-0. Hold on. I know it's here. Hold on. We'll get there. 13. It was between, I think it was during the Gold Cup or something like that. Hold on. There it is. 3-0. Lucas McNaughton is offered Daniil Henry. Oh, boy. Here we go. Daniil Henry. Oh, this is going to get worse. Yeah. You're out if DC lose and you can't go and win over Columbus. You have to win, or if you draw, DC has to lose. So you have to get another goal and not allow another. Honestly think Bob needs to go. This team had potential for the dismantling of the roster, playing players out of position and bad tactics. I understand it was supposed to be a rebuild season. We will see 3 more yet. You predicted that Philadelphia need to survive until Montreal. That's why. Well, they're still first because they're winning. Here's the thing, though. I understand it was supposed to be a rebuild season, but only because you finish at the same place with like 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. 6 more points than you did last year. With as many goals, you shipped just as many goals as you did last year. What is there to rebuild? Besides names, you have hype. That's it. Lorenzo Insigne, Federico Bernardeschi, Domenico Cuscito for half a season. They do a pretty good job until they run out of gas because they played a full season, pretty much a full-on year. No off season. Of course they were going to run out of gas. And then the defense didn't help them, and the midfield sure as hell didn't. What is there to rebuild on? What was there to rebuild on? What has there been a rebuild on? Yeah, you got 6 more points this year. Good job. Javier Perez, Bob. Javier Perez. Bob. Javier Perez is a better manager than you. He's better. Should have never let him go. Should have never. You want to do the same shit you did last year? I'm sure we could have done it with Javi. I'm sure we actually would have done better. Why? Because I guarantee you his system hadn't expired in 2014. I guarantee you Javier Perez's system is at least rooted in 2020. Just like Gareth Southgate. It may still be a spoiled bag of milk, but it certainly ain't a 7-year-old spoiled, 8-year-old spoiled bag of milk. You want to talk about a rebuild season? You want to talk about a rebuild season when you finish 6 points more than where you were last year in the same position with 3 world-class players for half a season? You have questions to answer. You have questions to answer. You took a whole lot of hype that we had in January and pissed it away. You took a whole lot of money that MLSE could have earned. And you put it through a shredder like you were part of Enron. Bob, I better file these important financial documents and just goes full shredder on it. Explain to me why. Explain to me why. I think Michael actually probably got him the job. That's the only thing that makes sense. They were like, we need something. We need a good name manager that has a good resume. And then Michael was like, hey, my father is. And it was a reverse nepotism hire. I can't believe it. And that's why Michael's probably actually been playing the best he has in like 3 years, because he knows if he didn't, he'd be shit on even more. He's been playing good to save his own ass. Because I'll admit, I thought he's been playing pretty good this year compared to the last 3. Because if he played like shit, it wouldn't just be the fact he played like shit to get him shit on. It'd be the fact that they did a reverse nepotism hire. All you can really hit him for this year is a reverse nepotism hire, because I know he had something to do with it. Like, Michael seems like a good guy. I'm not saying he isn't. He has no idea how to run a team. The fact he's backing his father like that, I mean, I understand. You want to help your family. I get it. But the fact that you have that much clout because you were the captain during Toronto FC's best era, I don't know if we should have done that. I don't know if we should have artificially grown his ego like that. I don't think it was a good idea. He's an okay player. He's a good leader. I don't know if he knows how to run a team like on the backside of things or like that. Ali Bedoya coming on for Philadelphia. Alejandro Bedoya coming on. MB is no longer a starter in this league. Well, I agree with that, but he's had some good moments. Andrew Gutman, 1-2 Atlanta. In that locker room, when one of our guys goes through something, we're stronger as a team. You know what? I wish Toronto was like that, but they're not. Where were we? Boom, 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 boom. We'll see 3 more yet. I hope so, honestly. I hope so. We got time, knowing this team. If Bobby Bacala was TFC's coach for the 2018 CCL final against Chivas, the result would have been a lot more embarrassing for TFC. We wouldn't even have been there. Saved by Westberg. If Bobby Bacala was here in 2018, we wouldn't even have been there. Hell, we wouldn't even have this star probably. But he won the Supporter Shield 2 years later, or a year later. I don't care. We wouldn't have had this star had he been here. Diego Chara was in the hospital earlier this week, had severe abdominal pain, gastrointestinal issue. Sad to hear. He won't play today. That's sad. Damn. Eric Williamson is going to have to step up huge today. I believe he can. Portland screwed, and I don't know why. Eric Williamson is just fine. We're going to win for Diego today. Portland feeling better, changed my mind. Westberg is up. Perez would have lobbied for some key players to be kept too, because he knows how good those players are, and he's going to make an exception for his system. Like, he'll try to get them fit in. Bob just wants it his way or the highway. If Bob Bradley could carry around like 5 or 6 sheets of paper on the sideline in a football match, he would go full Jimbo Fisher. Besides the fact he's a fucking spoiled bag of milk, his system. He would just be like this. Like 5 sheets of paper. Seriously. Paredes and Ayala starting today. Paredes has had a very good week in training and also believe in Ayala. They're both good players. The thing that pisses me off is that it's a very similar situation. And I think MLS is very similar to how college football fan bases are. So the fact that Toronto FC fans, like I've seen fans who believe we shouldn't be blaming Bob Bradley. There was a whole Reddit post about it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, have you not been watching? Like, you're acting like he had the success of like 3 years before it all went tits up. You are acting like he had the 3 years of success like Jimbo Fisher had at A&M before it all went tits up. This man only had 1 season of horrible performance. There's a difference. There's a big difference. Gazdag with a free kick. Cross in. Well, then again, I guess you could hold like 6 sheets of paper on the sideline at a football match. I mean, hell, Javi had his notebook. Different notebook, just, this is a lot closer to what he had than this. I think, if I remember correctly. Seems like it. I did not mean to do that. It's just a good one I found at Walgreens with a lot of sheets starting for next season. Isaiah's with Connor today, I'm sure, because it helps out. It helps at Inter Miami. Actually, no, it doesn't. The crew drawing does. Or losing. Remember a player called him Titi got an assist on his debut against Roma for Lecce? Think so. It'll speak volumes to see where this team goes when the roster decisions are made for the beginning of the offseason. It will. It will. Legitimately. 78th minute. It will legitimately make a lot. It will. And I hope they make the right decisions when it comes to protecting players, when it comes to cutting players, when it comes to not re-signing players that are free agents. Bono. Alex Bono. No. Don't resign him. Don't resign him. Oh, they will, though. I have a bad feeling they will. 79th minute. 11 minutes to go this season. Free kick for TFC. Can they get not an equalizer, but a consolation goal? And Tognalu, what a good pass. And Tognalu, what a great pass. Hugo Mbong is on. Hugo Mbong, the brother of Ralph Priso, the striker. I think Bradley's playing him out of position, though. He loves to play young players out of position. Hugo Mbong came on. Jimenez was off. Petrasso, McNaughton, Okello. So I guess for Okello, because Io was for Jimenez. So there you go. Federico with a cross. Bernardeschi and Tognalu puts it out for a goal kick. But at least he tried to do something. That was great. Only the Mariners are doing good. Seattle good this year. Domestic tournaments. Exactly. A lot of people still think that the Canada going to the World Cup is the one that lost 8-1 to Honduras. And they would be wrong. This Canada team is very talented and very hard to beat. Especially probably after that Uruguay game. They'll learn a lot from that. It was still a pretty good performance besides the fact they lost. So, no, Canada will do just fine in the World Cup. At least they'll make me At least, you know what? If TFC can't make me happy, at least this year it seems like Mississippi State and Canada are going to make me happy. I'll take it. Because I think Canada will do good in the World Cup. I think they will. And as I said, I'm calling it now. Mississippi State wins out, but that means they beat Alabama and Georgia and Ole Miss. And then we'll see if that gets into the SEC championship. I think it will due to head-to-head, even if it's Ole Miss's only loss. So, in the West. So, I'm feeling good about that. Alphonso Davies is scary. Was happy to pack him my Panini sticker album. I really need to buy the freaking sticker album. I don't know why I haven't yet. I really do. 81st minute. Federico Bernardeschi gets a yellow card. Of course. This just keeps getting worse and worse. Cazzo. '81st minute. Boom, boom, boom. Nine more minutes of this season, this godforsaken season. Shot past the post. And it's kept in. Temion Tognalu, no goal kick. Welcome back. Juan Mosquera is starting again. Good for y'all. Is Canada happy with a single point in the World Cup, or is it possible to get out of the group? Possible to get out of the group. If you start collecting stickers, keep in mind this year there are different parallels. What the hell does that mean? What the hell does that mean? Corner kick for TFC. See it. Start collecting stickers is the operative term. What the hell? That's out for a corner. I think they'll be able to get out of the group. We'll see until you beat Alabama, but we just beat you 19-6. Here's the thing about Georgia. We almost beat you in 2020 when our team was so shit. Will Rogers still almost beat y'all. And our defense was really good. Our defense is even better than 2020. Y'all aren't that good, Georgia. Y'all aren't that good. You almost lost to Kent State and Mizzou. We're better than Mizzou and Kent State. Our offense is better. Our defense is amazing. It's probably top 2 in the SEC. Will we have to beat you twice to go to the college football playoff? Probably. Unless we beat you, then Tennessee, we have to play them in the SEC championship, which would be a nice 1998 rematch. But this time we win, as in Mississippi State. And hopefully Jack Crystal will be smiling down from heaven, screaming, "Wrap it in maroon and white." That's what I say. I think Bernardeschi and Insigne need a break after this start for the club. If you mean by the off season, yes, they do need an off season. I agree. At least we got Vandy. Vandy. Actually, Vandy was good this year. I can't even. White standard, blue, common, red, uncommon, green, rare, purple, really rare, black, only one per player in the world. Okay, I get it now. Thank you. Thank you for explaining. Now that I know that. Ohio State winning the national championship. Mississippi State is. Good. Okay, I got it now. Thank you. Thank you. Mississippi State is. See you in the playoff. See you at the Peach Bowl. See you at the Peach Bowl. When I say Mississippi State's winning out, I say Mississippi State's winning out. See you at the Peach Bowl. See you in Atlanta. 4 weeks after the first win we have in Atlanta. The real State University going bump, 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 bump. Whip y'all. Federico is off with 5 minutes left in the season. Jaden Nelson replaces him. Federico talking with Bobby Bacala. I don't know exactly what. A 9,050. 50. Jeez, that sucks. Miami won, 3 Montreal. Doesn't shock me. Orlando City, your time is running out. They got to get a winner. But then again, the good thing about, Columbus is they love conceding late goals. So maybe. The one time they don't do it, put them in the playoffs. Mark Anthony Kaye, and that's out for a goal kick. Imagine if Bobby Bacala was a head coach at this World Cup. I was like, he's done it before. No, he'd be horrible. Keep wrap. My thing is wrap John Herdman and bubble wrap. Probably put him in a hyperbaric chamber too. That is El Brujo Martinez off for number 33, Mark Sullivan. Quinn Sullivan? It sucks. Thank you very much. It sucks. Joel Waterman own goal. About 55 sticker packs, and the most rare one I got were 2 reds. Uncommon. Not very rare. Honestly, I think TFC could have a killer offensive front with Bernardeschi and Insigne next season if they could gel together this offseason and the rest of the Muppets get going. I agree with that. Problem is the rest of the Muppets aren't going to get going. And the big Muppet that needs to go is Bobby Bacala, Bob Bradley. But you know what? They're not going to let him go. But here's the sad part. I can't imagine his buyout is too high, like a other problem where they have a Muppet that needs to go. AKA Texas A&M, the Colt boys. I'm sure Bob Bradley's buyout's not that high. I'm sure MLSE could pay it. They're very rich. This isn't a freaking clown show operation we have running here, at least money-wise. So, I'm sure they could pay that buyout. But what about just make more people sign up to show me? But what about our money? We don't want to pay $30 million out of our pocket. Just make more people sign up to show me. Shut the hell up. Get rid of Bobby and make more people sign up to show me. That's the only thing you have to do. That's the only thing you have to do. If Canada doesn't want to keep Herdman, would love to see TFC go after him. Seems like a coach who understands the game. I agree with that, but here's the problem. Honestly, I'd like for him to do the old double job. Has TFC as his club and has Canada as the nation. It's happened before, and you know what? Let's do it. Can't be worse, can it? Maybe for only 2 years, but it's worth it. I don't need you to feel bad for me. 88th minute. Goal NYCFC 3-1. Good for you. In another universe, MLS has dominated Liga MX for a while. Now Liga MX has just now finally surpassed MLS, just like how MLS surpassed Liga MX in our universe. If that means Toronto won the Champions League, I'd rather live in that universe. Then I wouldn't be so hurt by this bullshit. But no, I get the universe that We were second. VAR and Orlando game for a PK for Orlando. Winvo, there's your chance, buddy. There's your chance. You score this penalty, you're in the playoffs as long as you can hold. If they give it to you. Honestly, cross in. If we were at it's a PK for Orlando. It's a PK for Orlando, says Rory. Lovely. Lovely. Time to pray. Time to pray to your God, Winvo, because this is the moment for you. For y'all to have a chance to just sneak in. 89th minute. Pray to your God they scored. Carranza. What a foot save by Westberg. Sadly, it doesn't matter. 90th minute. If they blow the whistle, I'm going to try to see that penalty. Not going to lie. Unless it's already. Is the God of Orlando Mickey Mouse? MICKEYMOUSC. Who's the leader of the club that's made for you and me? MICKEYMOUSC. Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse. Forever let us hold our banner high, high, high. Boys and girls from far and near, you're welcome as can be. Thank Full Metal Jacket. Oh, what a save! What a save. 90th minute. Save. Past the post. Goes all the way back. Goal kick. Goal for Orlando. They are up. They are up. Orlando is up. They score the penalty. Facundo Torres. They are in the playoffs. As it stands, Orlando City. Goal kick for Westberg. And that's full time. 4-0 for Philadelphia. Daniel Gazdag with a hat trick. Doesn't shock me. There you go. Facundo Torres scores the goal for Orlando that may just put him in the playoffs, though. I'm happy. I'm happy for Winvo. It's what they need. Oh. There it is. Orlando's in the playoffs by 2 points. Could that be enough? Let's see the time run out. How much time? Hold on. They're searing steaks. 85th minute. It's on Fox Sports 1. That's why it's not on ESPN. All right, hold on. I'm going to watch this as I'm doing the RSR. Or you know what? You want me to? Well, I can't do that. I got to get this done. How are you freaking? That thing just always goes off. It is what it is. Here's Columbus, saved by Gallese. Saved by Gallese. Saved by Gallese. You know what? We'll close this out. With that being said, if you like the stream, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. I like it. I think it's better that way. MLS kind of has to do it because when they had 2-leg playoffs, the calendar was way too long because of all the international breaks. They kind of had to do it. Instead, if you like the stream, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Send super chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put some plays. Share some friends and family. All that great stuff. I will see you within an hour for the TFC RSR. And hopefully Orlando holds on to their match and stay in the playoffs. With that being said, I'm Ron and I'm out. Peace. See you later. That's it for Toronto this season. Honestly, I'm glad. I'm Ron and I'm out. well, besides the RSR, but actually watching games. I'm Ryan, and I'm out. Peace. See you next year for the boys in red. I'm glad. See you.